Hi, and welcome to another Terribly Fun Films review. I'm your host, Bobby, and you probably noticed that there was no introduction, no prologue before the logo and the poster came up for the movie we're looking at today. And that's because today's review is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to tell the story of the man who introduced me to the movie and why that's relevant. And during that, I will discuss the movie a little bit and do a whole review for that. So, I was introduced to the movie Low because of a friend I have named Mike. I first met Mike in high school. We went to different high schools, but he was in a local band that my best friend saw at some venue, presumably downtown, and fell in love with. I don't know how many shows he had gone to before he invited me to go see one, because they're just that incredible. And after the show, he introduced me to everyone in the band, including Mike, who was the bassist, I think. I might be misremembering that, but I'm 95% sure he was the bassist for that band. And next time out, during another show, Mike remembers me. So we start talking. That's how we become friends. Mike loved to throw a good dance party. So shortly after that, he invites me to a dance party. That's where I meet other people who I still am great friends with to this day. In the course of getting to know Mike better and throughout the numerous years I've now known him, one thing became very apparent. Mike loved life, Mike loved people, Mike loved art. And it was in part because of Mike that I learned that anything can be viewed as art. The design of a bottle, the cover for a game or a book or a movie, anything can be viewed as art and can then be evaluated as such. Is one reason I like art so much. Not the only, but definitely contributed to that. So much so that I proposed to my wife in an art museum. Like, that's how important art is to me. Our wedding theme was paint splatter, and the same guy, Mike, was our officiant. It's his name on our marriage license. So one day, we're hanging out, my wife and I, with Mike and his wife, and he asks me about the movie Low. Now, I've been into movies since everyone who's ever met me can remember. So he asks if I've ever seen this film, and I say no, I hadn't even heard of it. And he's, oh, it's about this thing and this thing, and it's just so crazy. And it's just the kind of person Mike was. Mike loved introducing you to something not just he thought you would like, that he knows you would like, that he knew would speak to you in a certain manner. Low is a low-budget movie centering around a man named Justin, who summons the titular demon Low to get his girlfriend back. His girlfriend was kidnapped by a demon. Throughout the course of the film, we discovered the whole story there. Low is a wisecracking, smartass demon who keeps fucking around with Justin. Watching Low, it is a low-budget film. It is a film with maybe, it has 3 main actors and like 3 or 4 other actors. As I just stated, the cast of Low is very small. Playing the titular demon is Jeremiah Burkett, and he brings a nasty, sarcastic bent to the role, which is there in the writing as well, but he owns it. He makes it his own, makes it very believable. And the first time we watched it, there was a sequence where Flo is insulting the main character of Justin. He's just calling him a string of names, and Mike's laughing his ass off. It's the funniest things he's ever seen in his life, apparently. I don't know if that's true. It's just based on how hard he was laughing at that ridiculousness. Because outside of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, how often have you seen a demon just hardcore mock your main character like that? Playing Justin was Ward Roberts, and he brings very likable, everyman charm and sensibility and hardcore devotion to April, the girlfriend he's trying to get back. Anybody who ever saw Mike and Kristen together knows they didn't just love each other, they bloody adored each other. Like, seeing them together, it just clicked. Oh, that's why they're together. No duh, there's literally nobody else in the world for them. They worked on such an incredible level that I hope that's what I have with my wife. That, of course, that sort of thing, where Roberts plays the character of Justin, being so devout that he's literally poisoned at a part in the film and still does not leave his protected circle until he gets to find April. Of course that appeals to a guy like Mike. Playing Jeez, the demon that kidnapped April, is Dave Barry, and he's the one with the song and dance number. And after Mike and I originally, with my wife, after the three of us finished watching the movie, I think that's the thing Mike talked about the most, was he loved this song. He loved the way it told the story of love. He thought its inclusion was really interesting. Then you have the waiter, the only waiter in the entire film. He plays a bunch of different waiters throughout. Played by Aaron Gaffrey. He's really good. He gets some really dry humor, and that's a lot of fun. I like dry humor. He enjoyed the subtlety that comes with that sort of thing, especially if you can deliver a big laugh with such a tiny line. And you have a character who has no lines, but has a fair amount of screen time in the Demon Rat, who's a demon low someone's dressed up, sort of mess around with and show off his power to Justin, played by Sarah Larsa Deckert. Deckert is clearly having fun getting to mug it up and stuff as the Demon Rat, but again, she has no lines. It's a very physical performance, and she sells it well. Playing the very important role of April, but not in the movie nearly as much as the other characters, is Sarah Lassies. I hope I'm saying your last name right. And she's excellent. She is... The character is meant to be sort of confused by certain things in the real world, and she really does a good job of believably showing that off, and she does an excellent job of showing her genuine affection for the character of Justin, and later things in the film, and I'm trying not to spoil stuff, make the performance even stronger, because once you see the end of the movie, you realize, oh, all of this other things. She does a great job. Afterwards, we discuss love, and Mike's sensibility is such that just everything about love, from the character designs to its plot about love and demons and about random musical numbers and being the best bartender in this room and whatnot, would of course it would appeal to him. It just makes sense. Of course, after watching it, I loved it. My wife loved it. So then we just talked about Kristen, why she didn't like it. Her reasons were it just didn't appeal to her. She found it hard to get behind the main character, which, alright, fair enough. But that was the cool thing about Mike. Mike didn't care if you agreed with him or not. Mike just wanted to share something with you. He wanted to share it because it can make you see something differently. Mike wanted to share it with you because it could make you think about something that you never thought about before. Mike was one of the most artistic people I've ever met. Anything he did was great. He loved everyone. He loved his wife and kids. He loved doing art. His music, he did tattooing, he did paintings, at least one sculpture that I'm aware of. Mike did everything that came to him, and he wanted to try it all. If it didn't work out, or if it turned out he didn't like it, or he just wasn't that good at that particular thing, he would shrug it off. It didn't matter. He got to create something, and he moved on. And in that way, everything about Lowe was designed to appeal to a guy like Mike. Lowe is a very low budget film, but the design of the demons are amazing. All their money, all the money they had went to the design of the demons. Guaranteed. They're that detailed, they're that intense. It's about people. It's about love. There are artistic flourishes throughout. There's a whole music, song and dance number about the history of the character of Lowe. And then there's just a weird, like, solo tango number with a bartender making a fake drink before he makes the real one. It's weird. It deals with comedy. It has comedy and drama, and because it's a little bit of everything, because it goes so far in everything it does, there's no other movie like it that I've ever seen. There are movies similar, but there's nothing I could point out and go, oh, that's the exact same tone and that sort of thing of Lowe. It just doesn't exist. And because it's so well constructed, the director, Travis Betts, who also wrote the film, utilizes his low budget in very creative, interesting ways, showing off some people who are trapped in hell getting tortured. They put up a giant sheet, red lighting, and fake blood smear across it. So it's just them silhouetted, which is an easy enough way to do that. A lot of the movie is darkened throughout, so you can't actually see like the floor or anything. You can just when memories pop up, do we spring over. It was probably filmed on a stage, my best bet. There's everything dark, and then just illuminated the sections they needed for the times they needed them. But the movie has heart, and it has integrity, and is very much about power of friendship and love, and still dealing with something that's taboo is the wrong word for mainstream audiences, but kind of out there and kooky and weird for mainstream audiences. It just doesn't fit that sensibility. That could describe Mike really well. It could describe what he liked in art, what he liked to draw, what he liked to read about, and that sort of thing. He was very much a punk in that regard, and when you watch Lowe, you can see all of it. You can see the sort of punk thing. You can see the love. You can see the friendship stuff. You can see them being creative with the budget. You can see them trying their damnedest, even when not necessarily everything works. The only one action scene's got some bad editing, mostly to hide certain things, and certain things are just a little too random for some people's tastes. For me, I think it works because it's very much a film built around that sort of thing. You conjured up a demon from hell, he's fucking with you, it can be random. Low is sort of a great example of everything Mike valued in life. It involved love, it involved demons, it involved interesting designs for those demons, it involved music, it involved low budget creative decisions to try to flourish and make your movie stand out. Mike was my tattoo artist as well. He was everything. I have 2 tattoos. Maybe I'll show them off on here. Mike loved art so much, loved his family and his friends so much, that you could have forgotten your ID for a tattoo, and he would stay open late just so you had time to run back to the house and get it, so he can give you that tattoo for free, I should add. And that was Mike. Mike did what he wanted, did what he loved, had an amazing family, whom he loved beyond words. And everything could be viewed as art. Everything could be seen and evaluated as some sort of art piece. The shadows going across a street, the street lights at night, the shape of a cloud. It didn't matter. And in that way, it didn't matter if Love's not a perfect film. It does have some flaws. It didn't matter that it was occasionally random. It mattered that they did artistic things. And it mattered that for what they needed to show off is where they spent their budget. And it mattered they focused on something that was relatable to everyone. Love. And they did it in a way that showcased a bevy of genre and ideas, comedy to drama, different kinds of comedy too. Some more sarcastic remarks, some of it's more slapsticky, and that's what Mike wanted to show me. Mike wanted to show me Low because he knew I would never have seen a movie like that. Not that I would never watch it on my own. Mike wanted to show me Low because he knew I, up to that point, had never seen a movie like that. And I still haven't. It came out in 2009, and yeah, there are low budget films that deal with demons, but there's no movie that's as dramatic and intense and sarcastic and as heartbreaking as Low. He wanted to show me art, even if it had flaws. And Mike even after all these years of first watching it with you, it's still one of the most engaging, interesting, and amazing low-budget films I've ever seen. So thank you, Mike. I would have maybe probably watched it eventually, but you introduced it to me, so I thank you. And wherever you are, whatever you're doing now, remember, we all love you. We all love your art. We all love your family. And you were so important to all of us that you were so important to all of us, that I boast about your name being on my marriage certificate, that when I show my kids Low, I will tell them this story of how we watched together in your house on a whim because you happened to bring it up because I hadn't seen it. I love you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.